how are you doing today? So this is day 3. I thought today we'll focus on the psoas, sort of stretching out your hips again, lots of nice random movement. It's so important to keep ourselves random. The body doesn't like repetitive exercise too much. So, we say exercise is great for us, and it absolutely is. But if we do too much of the same thing, that's when it gives us issues. So obviously that's why we have our sports masseuses, our physiotherapists, so they can sort of address those problems. But let's get started, and hopefully you enjoy this session. Right, so let's start off in what we call our own neutral. This is our own neutral, so I'm not going to have my feet facing this way. I'm going to have where I feel they are comfortable. I have my weight to the front, to the middle of the foot. There is weight on the heel, but we don't want to be leaning back. That's going to compress our lower back. We're going to make sure our weight is to the front, so we're very much using our forefoot. Right, we're going to go straight into the arcing, which we've been doing over day 1 and 2 as well. So here we are. Let's go through this. So we're going to push our hips back, bend your knees, hang your head, let everything go. Let your neck go, let your shoulders go as much as you possibly can. Exhale there. Rock to the front of the foot. Push away the ground, eyes just open, breathing in. And settle. Good. Now this time we're going to do a little transfer of weight. It's going to look like this as we're transferring our weight. We're going to go down and do it as well. We're just going to transfer our weight down nice and softly. Again, just opening out that lower part of your spine. Exhale there. Rock to the front of the foot. Push away the ground, eyes up, chest open, breathing in. And settle. Good. Let's take it into a rotation. Fingertips nice, tapping each side. No tension, no holding. Let's just get everything nicely, gently moving. A few more moments. 3, 2, and 1. Super duper. Right, I'm going to do something called standing side stretch. I'm going to reach over. This is my right, but you're going to be reaching to your left because you'll be mirroring me. So we're going to reach up and then come back. So this stretch gets you reach through your ribs, breathing in as you come, and then exhale to come back. Breathing in. 2 more. Breathing in. Last one. And then hold here. Soften knee. Inhale, reach, come up and over, change sides. And again, breathing in. Exhale, come back. And again, come back. Getting that reach through your ribs. 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, soften knee. Inhale, reach, come up and over. Super duper. Right, we're going to get down to our mat, and we are going to start off with our cat. Right, we are on the mat, and what you do need for this session is maybe a towel, or when we get to it we could roll up the end of our mat for a certain exercise we're going to do today. Let's go with the cat to start off with. So our hands are going to be underneath our shoulders and nice long back there. We don't want to be dipping, all right? So this is our finishing point after each movement we do. Our knees are about hip distance apart, all right? So we're going to go down towards the ground, coming up into your C shape, and then back into length. We'll do that again, down towards the ground, up into your C shape, back into length. One more time, down and up. Right, now we're going to take it back down towards the ground, coming back. This one's really good for lower back. You might prefer the original movement, in which case you can stay with that, and that's totally fine. Down towards the ground, coming back. One more time. And just keep your flow of oxygen going for now. Good. Right, now I'm going to do some feathering, a transfer of weight. So I'm shifting my weight on my limbs. So I'm thinking knees and hands are shifting that weight. That's going to give me a bit more range of movement. We allow our asymmetries to embrace and negotiate, which is why maybe you might experience a little bit more range of movement when you do add this transfer of weight in. A few more moments here. Anything you go, anything you like, as long as we come back to that finishing point after each one. Right, we're going to do head towards knee now. Are you ready? We're going to exhale in, inhale, lengthen, that's 1. Exhale in, and 2. Try and draw that head as close as you can to your knee. 3. We unravel ourselves. 4. Exhale in. 5. Squeeze your bottom on the out. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Okay, let's change side. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's reach back into your shell stretch. Have a moment there to breathe. Inhale, sides and back of rib cage. Breathing out. And again, breathing in. Breathing out and come all the way up. Okay, right then. So we are going to do, again, a little bit like the cat, we're going to play. So, for example, if you know you have tight hamstrings, maybe you can modify this exercise for hamstrings. Maybe you want to stretch out your hip flexors more, this area here, your groin area, then maybe you would adapt to suit that. There's quite a few different versions of it, and I'm going to keep throwing you different versions. If there's negative pain, it's a sign that your body's not ready for that, and it's the wrong angle or something like that. So then you change your angle, you experiment, and we'll guide you through it as we go. So the setup point is actually on your knees to begin with. All right, so I'm going to swing a leg round. I'm going to swing my right leg round first, and I've got a wall here to keep my balance. So I'm going to put my hand on the wall and swing that leg first. Now I'm going to just transfer my weight down into position. Now what that does is that opens up the hip joint, and then I'm going to come into position. Now this angle I quite like, but some people this might be a not great angle for them, in which case maybe you might bring that leg more in front. Now if it's the hip area that you're after today and you really want to stretch out the front of the front thigh, the groin area, and that's what you feel you need, then you can do things like rotation. All right, remember, no forcing. We don't force the muscles, we just encourage. So there should be no straining involved. If there's straining, which is not a stretch feeling by the way, then you change that movement. Okay, so there's those movements. You can also take the foot back like that and do some rocking. Okay, that's another movement. Right, but these are my particular favorites, but that's something that you might like there. So I'm actually going to work on the hamstrings. So I'm going to take my weight back like this. Okay, now some people might experience a really nice hamstring stretch here, but what is it different when you point your toe? For example, I can feel more intensity a little bit high up there, so I'm going to point my toe or flex it, up to you. Now this angle here as well, maybe we could change that. I'm actually going to take my knee more out to the side. Does that feel different? All right, okay. I'm actually going to bring myself more forward as well. Even things like turning your head, moving your body will stretch different muscle fibers. But you can play with these movements here, and that's quite nice. Even things like rocking. All right, rocking the hip, pointing and rocking the hip, maybe turning away, maybe having a little bit of a play backwards, maybe going back to what you were doing before, maybe adding rotation in what you were doing before. Just move, just move. Maybe what if we stretched an arm up, yeah, and come round? What about if you stretched an arm out to the side? Have a little explore with things that you think will give you a nice sense of movement. Get into those areas. Perhaps it's this movement you want to do, again pointing and flexing toe, turning the hip in and out. You know, it's chaos in our limbs, it's chaos in our position. All right, let's do the other side. So here we go, on our knees for our setup, bring that leg round, feather in so we work around the hip joint and don't run into it. Adjust the front leg if you need to. Again, maybe the side is completely different from the other one. Okay, maybe it feels like it needs a different stretch. Okay, so again, moving around, playing point and flex, turning hip, adjusting the knee, going back, adding rotation, pushing back, adding a stretch for your ribs perhaps, adding an arm, changing the way our head is. All right, all these movements will change our stretch accordingly and make it in something that we feel will be beneficial for us. 3, 2, 1, and come out. And that's a really nice stretch. There's loads more to that stretch as well. So as we can progress through certain various courses that you may do with me, then we can always look at that. Right, we said earlier that we needed either a towel or roll up our mat. So we have a muscle that runs through your femur, up through your hip and up through your lower back. It's called the psoas, okay? The psoas major. It's a major core muscle. I do this pretty much every day, this one, because it opens up the hips. But we're going to do the basic version today. So normally I would do this with what's called the Franklin balls, which are these balls here. I really like it with them, also add a bit of massage, but majority of people might not have them. So I'm actually going to roll up the end of my mat to give myself a bit of lift. So it's probably about like that, I would say. If you don't have a mat, then a towel, a rolled up towel. And what you need to do is you're going to lay down on there like that and have your bottom a little bit lifted. So basically you've got a bit of a lift on that bottom. All right. Now I'm going to take one leg up. When we're going to repeat the same 10 times, we'll do the right side first. We're going to lengthen that leg up. Now we're going to go down for a very slow count. So we're coming down, down, down. There we are, all the way down. And then once it reaches the bottom, there'll be a slight opening or feeling of stretch. You're then going to slide that leg up as if you're painting the surface of the floor, and repeat again. Let's do that again. Down we go. And then up we come. Good. Now if we're adding in breath, let's breathe in as we draw our leg down towards the floor. And breathe out to come back. That's 3. Breathing in. And breathing out to come up. Now if you're experiencing any clunking or clicking or things that don't feel right, then you could change that movement to a spiral, for example. See if that's any better for you. All right. Once it reaches the bottom, you slide up. That's 5. Sorry, this is 5. Can't count. I've changed that into a spiral. So I do this every day mainly because I feel like I need to balance my hips out an awful lot. Had a car accident and my shoulder was not good, so they worked on my shoulder because that's where the pain was. But then once my physiotherapist had finished with me, done all the treatment, I decided to take matters into my own hand and realised it was actually my hips. So I started treating the hips. Did this one a lot to give the length, to create balance through my hips and shoulder spine now. So like as most things, it's not always where the pain is, it's a lot of the time it's referred pain that is causing us that issue. Right, this is number 8 coming up. Hopefully you haven't changed legs, right? You haven't changed legs. So I'm doing spirals here, but you can continue that little waver. You might start feeling the front of the thigh there working as well, but you're opening up those hips. And we're doing the basic version today of this exercise. Might have some beginners joining us. And one more time. Change that. Good, and slide. Good, just have a little rock first of all, a little rock, and then we're going to go on to the other side. Here we go, lengthen up that leg, and here we go, down we go, breathing in as you go back, down, breathing in. Now I'm breathing out, and again, breathing in. And breathing out, and again, breathing in. Breathing out, and again, breathing in. Breathing out, and this is number 5. Remember, you can turn it into a spiral if you want. What's also quite useful, there's a push with the other foot into the ground to stabilise myself. Like if I didn't push, I'd be wobbling all over the place. But there's a push with the foot that's grounded to assist the stability of the rest of you as you do it. Okay, getting close now, we're almost there. This is number 8. Here we go. One more time. Good, lovely. Okay, now because of that exercise, you might just want to give yourself a little bit of a massage here into those hip flexors. They have been stretched, they have been extended, and because we spend a lot of time sitting in a compressed, that these muscles are often compressed and shortened, you might feel that tomorrow or the next day. All right, so just have a little bit of a massage there and try and continue massaging them in the course of the day. You can unroll your mat from underneath you or take the towel out from underneath you. Let's just have a little rock from side to side, getting the elbows pushing into the ground, stretching, moving the neck. So again, we're adding that push, been talking about that GRF, that ground reaction force as you're pushing from one side to the other. A few more, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Let's rock to our side. We'll come up to a seated position. We're going to just do some breathing here. Breathing in, breathing out, and again, breathing in, breathing out. One more time. Good. Okay, slide those hands forward onto your knees, dip your head, exhale there. Slide hands back, push and breathe in to stretch your back a little bit. And I want to say thank you for joining me today. Hope you found today useful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.